Hi, Marianne Croce here from Small Biz Vantage and creator of 3 Day Weekends Coaching. And I'm here again this week with business leadership in 15 minutes. And I do this for a couple of reasons. I do this each week so that business owners can shift their perspective of their business, the vantage, if you will, right? How you look at your business and turn it into your competitive edge. And the second reason I do this is for you to be able to take one action item away each week and apply it, implement it in your business. Now, for those of you that don't know me, I am a business coach and I work with small business owners in the automotive and skilled trade industries. These are owners that have teams and they want to next level their business, but they want a direction on that. They want to know what the next step is. Many of them say, I'm stuck. My business has plateaued. We've reached a certain level and I want to go a little bit further and I'm having a hard time doing that. So that's where I come in and I help. So let's talk about this week's topic. And if you find this topic valuable, then please share it with another business owner that you know, because I believe that we can all learn and grow, help each other. So this week, it's 2003 goal setting. Now, goal setting is an important topic. It's something that I know a lot of small business owners struggle with because they're doing so much in their business to take that time and set it aside for goal setting. January hits and they feel like they're behind the eight ball sometimes. So what I like to do is I like to plan my next year out now. I do it the last quarter, the fourth quarter of the year. So I've done this for my businesses and I find that it really helps me hit the ground running, come January, because I have everything in place and I know what I'm going to be doing. I have a lot going on in my businesses and in my personal life since I became a grandparent. So it's important to make the most of both your time and your effort. And I'm sure you have a lot going on in your life and business as well. So, what I've really found to be true over the last 25 years, the best way to approach goal setting is to start with the end in mind. I call this reverse engineering everything. And it really does work. So, the first thing I want to ask you is, what do you want? I'm not talking about what people want in your industry or what other people are doing. What do you really want? Tune out what other people are striving for. And the reason why I say this is because you have to decide what you want for your business, not only for it to be profitable, because of course every business needs to be profitable, but you want it to also be sustainable, right? You want it to be there for a long time so that your team members know that they're working at a business and with a business and an owner that has a sense of security. But what a lot of people forget is you want it to be enjoyable. We don't put enough emphasis on this. Many overlook this part, believing that money and profits are going to be what it takes to make you happy. And trust me, there are a lot of business owners who are making money, who are making a profit, and they're not happy because their business is no longer enjoyable. So, setting goals is really a good way to achieve this. Now, many people will set a goal and hope they achieve it. I say set a goal and plan to achieve it. So, I want to start with something that I call the good, better, and best goal. For example, many people will set a goal in business that has to do with sales or net profit. Or what if a goal was that you wanted to gain back, 8 hours a week back, because you just feel like you're working, 60, 50, 60, 70 hours a week. And you're like, you know what? I'd love to gain 8 hours back a week. That would be an amazing goal for me to set. So start with a good, better, and best. And this is what I mean by this. Your good goal is something that you believe it's achievable. It's within reach. It's like, okay, I can go in and maybe tweak a couple of things, and that's probably doable if I work at it. A better goal might be a bit of a stretch. Like, well, okay, we really have to look at this to see if this is something that we're going to be able to do. And your best goal will leave you amazed. And the reason I say that is having these three really make it exciting. And it also allows you to focus on what you need to do more of or less of to reach that goal. What things do you need to take off your plate and stop doing, right? Where are the areas that you should focus more on? So the idea here is to break down your goal into quarters. So if you have a goal for 2023, break it down into quarters. Don't just set that goal for the year and then come, the third quarter of the year say, oh, wow, it doesn't look like we're going to make this goal. When you break it down into quarters, this allows you to be flexible and adjust for change. Because we know in a perfect world, when everything is going well in your business, right? Yes, it would be very, very easy to reach all kinds of goals, but life doesn't work that way. And we need to be flexible and we need to adjust for change or challenges that happen. So what I wanted to do is break this down into steps for you, because this can sound meaty at times for a lot of people. So let's break this down. The first step is to assess. And that means reflect on your last year. Now, I know you'll have a lot of gurus out there that'll tell you, never look back. What's done is done. The past is the past. But I believe that that is a huge mistake, because we can learn a lot by reflecting on the last year. When you think of pros, you think of professional athletes, professionals like people that are in the Olympics. They always go back and review their game. They always go back, whether they won or they lost. They find out what worked and what didn't. So that's the mindset that I'd like you to have. Reflect, review the last year and find out what worked and what didn't. What were the circumstances? Were things different? And why were they different? So it's something for you to consider. Another part of assessing is how much money, time, people, and skills do you have available to you? So going forward, when it comes to money, budget for all the different areas in your business. Do you have a budget for marketing? Do you have a budget for equipment or tools that you're going to need, resources that your team is going to need, whether you need computers, whatever that is, budget for all the different areas in your business. It could be software. Time. How much time do you plan on working? And I want you to factor in a personal life as well. I want you to factor in vacation. So you may be working 50, 60 hours or more right now. Well, what do you want to be working in 2023? People. Do you have the right number of people in the correct roles? Very important to know who's in the right role. Are the people that you have, are they a good fit for the role that they're in? Or do you need more? Are you short-handed? Or do you have too many people in one role and you need people in another role? And what are the best skills? So the fourth one is skills. What are the best skills for someone to have for that role? This is a great way for you to be able to hand off some of the things that you do that isn't in your wheelhouse or your skill set. The next part of assessing is capacity. What is the capacity of your business? How much work should your business be capable of producing? And there's a really, really easy formula to figure that out. You take your sales and then you go in and you say, what do you charge per hour? And then you go in and you say, okay, divide that total number of sales per hour. And that's how many hours you produced in your business. And is that the capacity, or should you be capable of more? Are there more hours left? The second part of this is focus. Now, when you focus, the idea here is to get clarity on your plan and clarity on the expectations that you have. Know who's going to do what and when they're going to do it. Share your plan and your expectations with your team. Let them know. Don't keep them in the dark. And the key point here is it causes alignment. That's what happens versus buy-in. Team members don't need to be sold on this when they see the benefits. A lot of times I hear people saying you have to get your team to buy into it. You have to sell them this. You know what? Align. Make sure it's something that is in their best interest too, and that they align with. There's no selling necessary. It makes it much more simple. And the last one is lead. So you want to make sure that it's a win-win for the business, your team, and your customers. Delegate to empower your team. That's part of leading. And be a resource to them. Make sure that they have what they need. But don't take over. Don't just move them out of the way and start doing it. Make sure that you're a resource. Communicate with your team. So if you only set one goal and hit it, that's great. But if you don't, what can happen is you can easily feel defeated. It's easy for that to happen. So try setting a good, better, and best goal. Even if you don't hit your best goal, you might surprise yourself and hit your better goal. Remember that the key to reaching your goals is to break them down by quarters. This way, you can reassess and make adjustments as needed. If you have to reassess a project, if you have to reassess some of the tasks or who's going to do what and when they're going to do it, you can do that on a quarterly basis. And it's not such a big deal as waiting till the last quarter of the year and feeling defeated, like there's no way we're going to reach our goal. So I hope you found this week's Business Leadership in 15 Minutes valuable. And I thank you for watching. Please share it if you find it helpful to another business owner. Here's to having an enjoyable week. Thanks for being here.